Angel! Get out of there! Get out of there! Leave the state! Get out of the state! Follow the woman on the moped! Look at her! There she goes! Follow her! You gotta get away from the Ebola! Good Lord! Okay, let's focus. Let's focus. Whew, I'm telling you. Angel, I'm a little worried about you. There's a lot of stuff going on down there. Big Tex right now. My goodness. Just watch out for anyone hemorrhaging blood from, any of their orifices pretty much at this point. Use your common sense. Try and distinguish that from your normal Friday, Saturday night activities and where you may see, people hemorrhaging, and if you're get into a squabble, something like that. Gentlemen, let's get on track here. Just, a lot of news these days with what's going on down there in Dallas. Welcome to Week 6, fantasy football, Commish, live, Scarborough, Maine, Ebola-free for right now. Let's get right into the beer of the week. Get it started nice and early. A little Rising Tide. It looks French, is the name of the beer anyways. The company is not. It's in Maine, but D'Automne. It's French because it's got a lot of M's and E's, and it's got some weird lines in the name. I don't really know. It says American Warehouse Ale. It's 7.2%. Let's give it a pour. It is an ale, so I don't expect it to be too dark. Let's check it out here. That's not a bad pour. Rising Tide usually has some pretty good stuff. It's a pretty nice little fall beer. It's crisp. I feel like I should be able to apple picking. Not too bad at all. All right. So, let's get to it. I'm already 2 minutes in. I haven't said a word. Topics for this week. We're almost halfway through the season, boys. It's getting real serious now. So let's just kind of recap our two division leaders here, what we've got going on. We've got G-Man just demolishing the league. HIV positive is, for lack of a better term, he's basically raping us right now. 5-0, G-Man, are you kidding me? He is just on fire. And I saw him last night. G-Man made an appearance last night in Portland, Maine. We were at a country bar. He showed up. Almost didn't recognize him. He was wearing flannel. It looked pretty sharp. I like that. And we were talking about his team, and he even admitted that he didn't feel like a 5-0 team. Like he was squeaking some victories out and whatnot. I'm just, watching the fantasy countdown here, make sure I've got my lineup right. Seeing what Matthew Berry's got to say. But, he felt that he wasn't quite sure moving forward how his team was going to fare. So I went back. I was looking at some stuff. I don't know if anyone else has noticed, but his code name is Dead. D-E-A-D, Dead, is what his nickname is on the league page. So points for, he has scored 470. That's third in our league. Points against, people have only scored 355 total points against him. Nug, what the heck? Get out of here. That's my beer. That's tied for 9th. So basically, G-Man is getting solid matchups every week. Almost the least amount of points scored against him, which he knows that. He readily admits that. But he's got a sneaky good team, too. I really like some of his players, and I think he's still going to do well. Definitely almost guaranteed a playoff spot, so keep up the good work, G-Man. The only other thing, why in God's name do you have 3 quarterbacks on your team? You could only start 1 in our league. We don't have a super flex league. And you have all good quarterbacks. Work one of those into a trade with somebody. Get a better flex player or a better running back, wide receiver. God, I'll probably take one of them from you. So get rid of one of those quarterbacks. You don't need 3. You're kind of hoarding the quarterbacks. In the other division, we got Max. Nearly undefeated. Definitely running the show in that division. He's got some people right on his tail, though. Malik's there, Eamon's there, TD's in your face. They're coming strong for you, so you got to stay sharp. He's got Rivers and Thomas, both who are starting to turn it on, really starting to produce well. I like that. Just heard, Jimmy Graham out probably another 2 to 3 weeks. That certainly is going to, slow you down a little bit. I saw you got Tim Wright from the Pats. Obviously a tight end number 2 there. You may want to look for a better long-term solution now that you know Graham is going to be out for 2 to 3 weeks after the bye week because of his injury. So you may want to upgrade and get something a little bit more secure than Mr. Wright. And then with your wideouts, Fitz and Randall, maybe a little weak there. I think looking down the road, certainly you want to solidify that spot moving into the playoffs because you look like you're primed for a good playoff run as well. All right, so let's keep it moving here, keep it fresh. What else? G-Man out in Portland last night, potentially moving to Charlotte. We like that, Man's just moving down the East Coast. Never been there before, just taking a chance. Pretty ballsy, I like it. And then, Angel in Dallas with the Ebola, just wear your mask, wear your N95 mask, do what you have to do. Stay safe down there. All right, beer of the week we already talked about. D'Automne Français. Parlez-vous en français? Oh yeah, it's fresh. The chick I'll post this week, Emily Ratajkowski, something like that. The chick from the Blurred Lines video, music video, and she was in Gone Girl that Whit and I saw last week. Good movie, by the way. I actually kind of recommend it. It was pretty solid. But she's kind of a famous chick, does a lot of modeling and stuff. Throw a few pics of her up on there. Pretty easy to find somewhat inappropriate pictures of her. However, this is a classy league, so the only pictures I'll post, some class. That's how we do it here at this in this league. So let's move it on to matchup of the week. When I look for matchup of the week, I want a close matchup. I don't want to blow out already. So Malik, sorry, you're not getting matchup of the week because you just ran up 55 points on a Thursday night game. So you're looking good to go. So we're gonna do that. I usually don't pick a matchup, with myself. So Heckman, the Gingers, we are battling this week. It's gonna be an epic battle. It's gonna be a fiery battle. Let's put it that way. So those two matchups are out. And then, G-Man, we've got AIDS going up against Ebola this week. It's too hot to touch. I can't even go there. I think G-Man's going to pull it out, and he's going to continue his undefeated streak. But when you have two diseases like that going up against each other, you can't even, who knows? Is there really a winner? I don't think so. So that leaves me with two other matchups. Looking at them, the closer matchup right now is, and the one that kind of intrigues me a little bit more from a standing standpoint, is going to be Jason versus Max. So let's break it down. So Jason, first of all, just drop Adrian Peterson. He's, I dropped him in my other league. It hurt me a lot. He was my first round, keeper pick. But his court date's not even until December. He's not going to do a plea bargain, which means the trial is going to go probably into 2015. Just drop him. You'll feel better about yourself morally. Okay, so Jason's quarterback, we've got Colin Kaepernick. Max has got Rivers. Hands down, I go with Rivers on the quarterback. Kaepernick, I feel like he's kind of dropped off a little bit this year. He's not doing quite as well. He is, a threat running as well, but Rivers has really turned it on. I like what he's doing. I give the edge to Rivers there. 25 points for Rivers, 18 for Kaepernick. Let's move down to the running backs. Now, I know Thursday night games already happened. Max had Bradshaw going, but still, their projections are close, so I'm still going to roll with this matchup here. So Jason's got Morris and Asiata, and Max has got Frank Gore and Bradshaw Wint, who got him 11. Pretty respectable, not too bad. Max actually has Trent Richardson on his bench, too, so he's got both Colts running backs who are both scoring double-digit points a game at this time, so that's... Usually I don't like two running backs from the same team, but hey, seems to be working. Alfred Morris and Asiata, pretty respectable. Morris does have a tough matchup this week, but I think he'll get it done. Asiata is kind of a boom or bust, and if you look back over the last 5 weeks, he has a huge game, double-digit points, and then he just falls off the face of the earth and gets like 2 or 3 points. So he's been bouncing back and forth consistently. This week is his boom week. he has been getting like 20-something points on his boom weeks. I don't think that happens. I think 15 or so points. Gore, solid running back. I give him about 13 or so. A little bit of a push here. I maybe side with Jason's running backs a little bit, but it's close. Moving down, Jason's got Dez and Victor Cruz. Max has Fitzgerald and Randall. Definitely I go with Jason's wide receivers here. Dez Bryant, even though he's going up against Seattle D, everyone's all scared about Seattle D. They're not the defense they were last year, at least from a fantasy point perspective. Maybe intimidating to the players and stuff, but going back and looking at it, they're ranked in the bottom half of fantasy defenses. They're giving up 23.4 points a game when it comes to that to some receivers and quarterbacks. That's not that good. So I think Dez still has a nice game. He's big. I think he puts Sherman in his place. I've seen that Richard Sherman commercial about the beef jerky like 5 times since turning on the TV today. I'm already annoyed with that. And Victor Cruz going up against pretty much Ruben Randall, who Max just picked up, which is a good pickup because Randall has been getting targets. But I think you look at Dez and Cruz versus Fitz and Randall, no brainer. Dez and Cruz, the better selection there. Down to the flex position, Forsett versus Thomas. I like Thomas there. The fact that he's in a flex and not in a wide receiver, maybe he's taking that personally and just going to spite you and not get you a lot of points. Maybe slide him up where he belongs in a wide receiver 1 position. Certainly more deserving than Fitz or Randall. Maybe he'll do better for you. But I give that position to Demaryius Thomas. Tight ends, Bennett and Wright. I guess I would go with Bennett here where he is the guy. Wright kind of second fiddle to Gronk, although he's kind of in the Aaron Hernandez role now. As long as he stays out of prison, he'll be doing pretty well. So maybe a slight edge to Bennett there, but definitely will be looking more long-term, Max, to get Wright out of there where Graham seems to be out for a while. Next, we've got defense, Chargers, and Broncos. Pretty equivocal. 10 points apiece. And then let's go down to the kickers, Sweezum and Vinatieri. Vinatieri already got 9. Sweezum, he'll probably get somewhere in that general vicinity. Who knows? Kickers, I don't really read that much about. So basically what happened is when I put down my point totals for everybody without, comparing or anything, and then tallied them up, I got 105 points each for Jason and Max, identical. Even though I, mix and match their points based on players, both of them got 105. So obviously, Kamish can't have a push, and the Kamish's record has actually been pretty accurate on his matchup of the week selections. Maybe not the points, but the actual winner. My gut feeling is that Jason is going to squeak this out, similar to what ESPN is projecting. They said 98, 94. I'm going to go maybe 105 to 97. I'm going to give Jason the slight edge there. I think he pulls it out. I think Max maybe takes the loss. That upsets the balance a little bit in that division where Malik gets the win, and it's going to get pretty jumbled at the top in that division now. Ebola is going to lose, I think, to HIV. So I think Angel still stays on the bottom there, and Gerard continues his dominance in the other league. So that's all I got, boys. It's already 13 and a half minutes. Taking way too long. I apologize. I wanted to get something up today, and getting ready to enjoy the games. Have a brew. G-Man, good to see you out last night in Portland. Eamon, Halim, hopefully maybe you guys are in the area at some point as well. We can all hook up. And Angel, if you are in the area, trust I'll be bringing thermometer and checking your temperature like a banshee. Very good. Gentlemen, have a good day. I'll catch up with you on the message boards. Enjoy.